There was this tree that really didn't have any purpose. It just was reaching towards the sun to take in more light, reaching toward the earth to drink up more water. And this was fine and good. It could stay busy this way. But one day, the tree started to ask questions of itself, and it discovered that beyond the capacity to meet its objective of staying alive, it had a gift that allowed it to make flowers. And at first, this seemed frivolous, to just make flowers. What's the point? But it kept with this curiosity, this persistent curiosity, and the love of beauty. And so it decided to grow a flower and just see what happened. And that's when it discovered that the flower was not only pretty, it also smelled really good and attracted people. And these people would sit under the shade and enjoy this fragrance. And while sitting under this shade, one day, one person noticed how beautiful the view was under that spot. And so they decided to build a house there. And meanwhile, it attracts deer who enjoy the flowers, and bees and hummingbirds who drink the nectar of the flower. And then the tree begins to feel another urge inside of it and decides, it worked out before, so let's just explore and follow this urge again. And so it explores and realizes the truer purpose and meaning behind its gift of making a flower. You see, because the flower turned into an orange. And now the person who lives there has food, a treat to eat. In fact, so much of it that they begin to make juice. And they have a reason to go and meet the neighbors and bring oranges to their neighbors. And their neighbors begin to plant trees and sharing their fruit. And now there's gatherings, all because of the question that the tree thought to ask: what else can I do? And that's the beauty of having purpose versus just having a goal. Now, this is not the first time an orange tree has come into my mind. In fact, it showed up recently during a conversation that I was having with myself, where I was working to reorient my thinking away from my fears of what could happen to my life if I started posting and toward the good that can come. And so that's what I decided to focus on, and that's how I'm here posting today. Now, not everyone searches for a purpose, and that's all good. But what I have found is that if you are wondering what to do with your gifts, maybe professionally or to guide your educational path, or because you're starting over and need some direction about what to choose to do next, what I have found is that if you have this question about what direction, what purpose, it's likely not going to go away. And there's likely a sweet and generous answer to that question, an answer that you probably couldn't have even imagined. We see in the media all the time where people use their gifts for bad, or they take it too far and use their gifts as an excuse to abandon their family or to become tyrannical with their employees. But where can we explore ways to simply unearth and discover our gifts and the fruitages of them in a balanced way for goodness and for modest sharing? Where can we explore the direction that we actually want to go in and why we want to go in that direction rather than the direction of overwhelming number of options that are out there? More than that, where can we explore our own self-technology given to us in our own unique combination? So I have much to share and even more to play around with, and I plan to do it on this channel as an explorer, a curator, a storyteller. Because data and science and knowledge is all like branches and leaves of a tree. It's helpful, that's true. In fact, there's really exciting findings coming out of the area of neuroscience, for example, now that we can actually see through fMRI scans what happens in the brain. But It's not until that information trickles up and becomes channeled into beautiful flowers and fruits that we see the ultimate enjoyment and useful payoff. Stories, creativity, art, illustration, these are like the flowers and the fruits. We all have access to facts. What someone is wondering is way more interesting. What you do with the facts is way more sweet. So, in the next video, we'll continue on this subject of purpose. I will quench the ever thirst for data and lightly explore what the science says about those who have purpose versus those who don't. What exactly do the studies show? In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me on the playground today. I hope everything is beautiful with you. Big hugs, and I will see you in the next one.